Hey, what's up, Nerf Herders? Hope you are all doing well out there. We got this teaser, additional new footage for Avengers Endgame during the Super Bowl, and I just got to share my feelings on this here. I have not talked about the Marvel Cinematic Universe a lot on my channel in the past, and I love everything that they are doing. So I want to share my thoughts on this here because all of this has been building up, first to Infinity War, and now to Endgame to conclude Phase 3 and kick things off to see where we're going to go with Spider-Man Far From Home, leading into Phase 4. Fantastic Four, X-Men are all possibilities now, so there's so much to be excited about. And I love what the Russo brothers are doing with everything. Right off the bat, I love how everything is just shrouded in mystery. That's how you know you have got your audience's attention, unlike Star Wars right now. Marvel is doing things right. They don't have to come out and say anything. They give you a couple little snippets, and it gets everybody in a craze, myself included. Oh my God, that's Hawkeye. Wait, it's Ronan. Holy shit. Freak out mode. And that's all it takes. Star Wars, on the other hand, has got to talk about Luke coming back, and Leia's going to be in the movie, and we're bringing back Billy D. Williams, and they're throwing everything out there as much as they possibly can to bring their audience in, and it sucks right now because Star Wars shouldn't be in that state. But nevertheless, digressing back to Marvel, these guys know what they are doing. They're providing quality films, and they have got their audience gripped. And this 30-second segment was enough to just get me ridiculously overhyped, more so than I even was, and I am through the roof about all of this right now. It's unbelievable to me that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been as successful as it is. I have never been like an avid comic book reader, but I have read a lot of comics. And one of my favorite comic lines was the Secret Invasion comic line. That's why I'm so stoked for Captain Marvel bringing the Skrulls into the equation now. And I really feel that the Secret Invasion might get touched on in Endgame, but I think it's going to be an ongoing theme through Phase 4. I think we might see people popping up here and there, turning out to be Skrulls, and I think they're going to play that out for a little bit. That's just my own theory on everything, and I hope they do, because the Secret Invasion storyline is amazing. But getting into this little 30-second segment here, all new footage, nothing is given away, and it's just a lot of eye candy. And what I really loved about this, it felt a lot like the Force Awakens teaser that we got, you know, when it was like a year or 13 months before The Force Awakens was coming out. We got that quick 30, 40-second teaser, and it was just, crescendoing music and this escalating sense of urgency. And I really felt that that's what we got in this teaser here, was just this escalating sense of urgency, and I love it. So kicking things off in here, I really like that we're going to see what Earth is looking like post-snap, or the decimation as they're calling it. You know, we get a couple of shots of New York. We see the Statue of Liberty, where all these boats have, either gone to seek refuge, or we'll find out, or abandoned boats that have just drifted ashore. We've got all that. We've got Citi Field they show, and the parking lot looks like a mess. It's awesome that we're going to see that, because I know they've been talking about this time jump, and whether or not there's going to be this huge time jump or a small time jump, or they're time traveling, regardless of any of that, I think it's good that we're going to see what happens post the decimation, just to see the effects that it's had on Earth. And I don't think we're gonna have that be the whole movie. I really feel what they're showing, and I know the Russos have talked about this, just the beginning of the movie. I think what we're going to see to start this movie off is going to be the Avengers regrouping, where everybody's at, where they're at mentally, psychologically after the decimation, getting things back in order. They'll regroup. Maybe there's going to be one big battle. Maybe they find a way to, take the fight to Thanos or something. Thor opens a Bifrost and brings everybody. I don't know. But I think they're going to try this one big battle, get their asses handed to them, and that's when we might get the time jump where it's like, okay, it's going to take the collective effort of everybody and years to put together the perfect plan to actually defeat Thanos and overcome, this unbelievable threat. Time will tell. But I love how they started the trailer off. It's very bleak and, kicks off with showing New York and how everybody is. And they go to the support group, and Chris Evans, Captain America, the way that he has the expression on his face in that support group, he's sitting there. A lot of people kind of joking about the whole clearing his teeth thing, but I really feel it's such a powerful piece of acting right there to me, man. I didn't find it humorous or goofy at all. The way that he was kind of sitting there shuffling about with his mouth, you can see his jawline kind of clench up and then release it, and he kind of gets this little bit of a grim stare in his eye. There's so much emotion conveying through that. It just looks like he's going through this pain and this hardship, and I've got to do something, but I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do, but I've got to make my last stand. Acceptance of what has happened. There's so much that you can kind of just see through Chris Evans' face right there. I love that. That was probably my favorite spot of the trailer, just because there was so much you could get just from the expressions on his face. I think that's perfect acting. And I think we got that from Josh Brolin as Thanos. I love when, Thanos comes down on Cap at the end of Infinity War. And when Cap holds him right there, you can see all of this going through Thanos' face, where he comes down, he's just like, what the hell? Kind of respecting what just happened, accepting it, and then fuck this, and just decks Cap out. You can see just the little flickers of the facial expression kind of go through each thing real quick, and I love that stuff. I think that's a very difficult thing to do, and I think Chris Evans hits the nail on the head. I really love that part in this trailer here. It's awesome seeing Ant-Man and War Machine together, dropping down, getting ready for battle or some kind of a confrontation. Maybe it looks like they're in an office, maybe in the, Avengers facility, and something has come to the facility. We've got a shot of Cap, Bruce Banner, Black Widow, and War Machine all walking out in front of the Avengers facility, kind of looking up. So it could be a magnitude of things. Tony getting back, Captain Marvel arriving. Who knows? Who knows what it could be? But they're definitely looking up. Looks like they're, something is arriving at the Avengers facility there. So, something going on there. You got Black Widow just blowing off these targets. You get another shot of Hawkeye in there, which I don't know if they showed Hawkeye with his arrows in the first trailer footage, but he definitely has his arrow bag on that you can tell here, and he's looking a little concerned of whatever he's looking at. And then we get the money shot, man. The absolute money shot, which is Cap holding that shield, man, and just strapping it on, dude. Just like, that's it, man. This is me, and like returning back home. I'm so stoked for that, because the way that they left Civil War with the relationship with him and Tony, and the separation of that, for that to come back together is so important. It's like when Luke and Leia reunite in The Last Jedi. It's like you needed to have that moment. Everyone's waiting to see that moment, and that's kind of the Tony Stark and the where the hell am I going here? Chris Rogers now. That's kind of that relationship that we've got with that, or Steve Rogers. Jesus, that's kind of the relationship we've got with that now, is these two coming back together. We have to see that, and the shield represents Captain America. When he dropped that shield, that wasn't him walking away from being Captain America. That was him walking away from his identity. It was the relationship of him and Tony that made him have to walk away from that. So to bring them back together, he straps that shield back on. Like, we're gonna get the Cap back, man, the way he's intended to be, and I think that's so cool. Love it. The one scene that I did not talk about, and this is probably my favorite shot. I love Chris Evans with the facial expression. I thought that was just gorgeous. But probably my favorite shot in this is when you see Tony Stark and Nebula together on the Milano, working at fixing something or creating something to get off the ship and get to Earth, or fix the ship to make it back, whatever the case might be. It was so funny, because when I watched the trailer, the way the music's escalating and going with everything, it felt almost like in the Godzilla footage and stuff, man, where lightning is crashing, dude, and a little bit of shaky cam, and Godzilla's kind of emerging through the lightning. It had that kind of a feel, just the way the camera was slightly moving around with them, and they're just plugging away and going to town. For some reason, it just had this huge feeling to it, as if you're watching Godzilla. I don't know why that crossed my mind with that, but yeah, bear with me. So I love the teaser. I love that nothing is given away. I love that we've got so much goodies in this. And, the end, to see Rocket Raccoon with everybody, walking together. So cool, man. It's such an odd group of characters to put together. And, these are the things that we love to see in these movies. All these different characters have been established in different movies coming together, man. And it's just going to be so awesome to see this come to fruition, and then get more excited for what's yet to come now that we've got Fox coming to Disney. So this is so cool, man. It's so cool. This is seriously the greatest time ever to be a fan of film, because things are happening that are impossible and never would have ever happened. So thank you, Marvel, so much for everything you guys have done, and everything that's going to continue to come. Cannot wait for this movie. I am so overly hyped for Endgame right now, and I just want to see how they're going to wrap this whole thing up and where it's going to go. I'm still holding out that we're going to see the Secret Invasion play some part, and I think it's going to just kind of overlay in the entire Phase 4. So we'll see. But if you guys got any theories about what's going to happen post Avengers 4, maybe who the next big baddie is going to be, Galactus could always be a thought now that we're acquiring Galactus back into Marvel with Disney, so that could always be something. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. What are you most excited to see in this movie? Whatever you want to talk about, man. I am so pumped about this. I'd love to join the discussion with you guys down in the comments. So any comments you guys want, love to hear them. Your thoughts on the 30 seconds. Are you as hyped as I am? Are you disappointed they're not showing more? Or are you super stoked that they're giving you just enough to get you pumped up, but not give you anything to spoil this film or start connecting dots? Because I'm pumped about that. I am very happy that we're not connecting dots with anything, and it's all this right now is just speculation and theories and creating discussions to talk without actually, putting those connections together where we're piecing together this film. Super pumped. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you all next time.